What's good? Samuel from We Who Suffer in Silence. I'm 8 months in, y'all. I'm here to talk to you today about my taper journey and how that's been going. My face is shiny as hell. Too much of that shea butter. Anyways, I'm 8 months in onto my benzodiazepine taper journey. It has been a lot of fucking work. I wanted to come out here today to talk about some of the things that I've noticed while I've been tapering, and some things that might be helpful for y'all if you're also going through this process. If you're new to my channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because this is all I talk about. Health stuff, complex health situations that tend to go over the heads of our medical community, in particular the allopathic community. So I learned last year that a lot of the symptoms I was going through was benzodiazepine related. How did I figure this out? Well, I went through a multitude of testing, and I had a plethora of different specialists in different areas of practice. I'm talking GI doctors, I'm talking cardiologists, hematologists, urologists, nephrologists, you name it. The reason why I had all these specialists is because every time I had something happening to a certain function in my body, I thought it was that thing. For example, I was getting a lot of palpitations, and maybe y'all can relate. Now, normally you would think that, oh, this is probably something cardiac. So I got a cardiologist. They couldn't find anything. I was having urology symptoms, pain while peeing. You think it's a UTI or maybe an STD. Tested myself out, nothing. Dysphagia, which is trouble swallowing. Had a barium swallow test. You go in, you chew different substances with different types of textures. Nothing happened. Countless blood tests, CBC, magnesium RBC, iron, ferritin tests, sed rate tests. Nothing came back. Everything came back normal. Now, for the last 13, 14 years when I did this, the doctors would say that I was fine. They didn't notice anything on their tests. And when they did x-rays, CAT scans, hell, even MRIs, they couldn't see anything. So to them, I was just a young black man who was a hypochondriac. See my voice? That's the withdrawal getting me. What I didn't notice was that the whole time I was going through an interdose benzo withdrawal, my body had adjusted to the dose I was taking. I was taking about 1 milligram of clonazepam every single day. And so the therapeutic effect wasn't it anymore. My body was craving more. See, a benzodiazepine is basically a sedative. It's a tranquilizer. It's something that helps to calm your GABA receptors and put you in a state of relaxation. After a certain amount of time, though, you start to need more and more of this drug. I didn't know that. I kept it at the same doctor-prescribed dose that was given to me. So with that dose, I started to attenuate it. So I was taking that same dose, not knowing that as time went by, my body had habituated to it and was craving more to have the same effect. That is a problem with these type of psychiatric drugs. You always need more. When you talk to a psychiatrist and a doctor, most of them are not trained well in benzodiazepines, meaning they will tell you, oh, this is habit forming. You may not want to be on it too long. What they don't tell you is, if you're on this benzodiazepine too long, you could develop dysautonomia-like symptoms, thermoregulation-like illnesses, cloudiness, migraines, increased histamine intolerance, palpitations, neurologic symptoms like neuropathy, small bowel neuropathy, GI distress, I'm talking irritable bowel, diarrhea, constipation, fatigue, malaise, post-exertional malaise, doing a little bit of activity, getting a rebound effect afterwards. They don't tell you that your GABA receptors are located all over your body. And when you start to go into interdose withdrawal with your benzo, because you didn't increase the dose, you will feel effects all over your body. endocrine system start to gain weight. Your metabolic rate decreases, even though you've been doing the same exact thing. Sometimes you might think you have a fever. You take some Tylenol. Maybe you have a scratchy throat. You drink some tea. But then you realize it never works. And it's because it is psychosomatic. Your throat is not actually sore. You technically don't have a migraine. And yes, the palpitation is not caused by your heart. The root cause is the benzo. And the only way to make those subside is to slowly taper off the benzo or take more of it. All the supplements, the herbs in the world will not work. Trust me, I've tried and I've been on this drug for 15 years. When you talk to your doctors about this, unfortunately, they will gaslight you into saying it must be something else. And it's because they're clearly ignorant on what benzos can do. So I've been tapering for 8 months. Started at 1 milligram, about 1.2, because I used to break the tabs in half, split it 3 days, split it over 3 times a day. I called a good compounding pharmacy that allowed me to get the drug in a liquid suspension. And now I'm dosing myself 3 times a day. As of this recording, I was able to get myself down to 0.094 milligrams, which is 0.94 milliliters. So you might be saying to yourself, well, that's an incredibly low dose. You need to get yourself as low as possible when you're tapering off of this drug. If you taper too quickly and jump off the dose at too high of a numerical value, you'll get what's called PAWS, which I believe is post-acute withdrawal syndrome, which is technically a brain injury. The worst thing you can do when you're going through a benzo taper is to taper quickly or go to a rehab facility. They will treat you as if you're addicted to the substance, even if it's doctor prescribed. And even if you are, tapering off too quickly does not give your GABA receptors chance to rebound. And then what will happen is you will have these long-term effects for years. When you taper slowly off of benzodiazepines, your body is able to adjust. It gives your mind a chance to reset. This is incredibly important. When you're coming off of benzo, everybody's going to be different to what they can handle. But I suggest getting below 0.1 milligrams before you cut anything. Below 0.1 at the very least. I'm trying to get down to 0.05 milligrams, which I should hit May 25th of this month. Trust your instincts. Trust your gut. This is going to be the hardest thing you've probably had to do. And a lot of people around you will not understand it. You might be fine one moment, in pain the other moment, bedbound the next moment, and it will look completely bizarre to the outside observer. If you have real people around you who support you, they will make it their job to try to understand and to help you in the way that you need to be helped, not the way that they want to help you. There's a big difference. So I'll record my last 25 days every day, post it on my channel. Please, if you have any questions, leave it down below. I would love to know what you guys are going through, what you're taking. For next time, peace.